Hi everyone, Medhy here, and welcome to the new season of What the FinTech. So, if you know me or you know What the FinTech, it's a short series of video, pretty fancy, and also a weekly newsletter. For this new season in 2022, I'm looking to deep dive into many discussions with tech entrepreneurs based here in Hong Kong, but also in Asia later on. So the goal of this podcast is really to see what are the latest trends into the fintech, the latest developments, democratizing the information, and simplifying the impact of the fintech into the future of banking. So starting now, every week, I will have a prominent member of the Asia tech community to meet with us one-on-one to discuss about entrepreneurship, tech startups, and emerging technologies affecting the finance industry. If you like the show, please subscribe, hit the like, or put a 5-star rating on the podcast platforms. Today we have Denis Shi here, the founder and CEO of Mojodomo. Denis, welcome.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for being the first person to come to this new
Yeah,
season.
that's my honor. Good.
So, Denis, you are the CEO of Mojodomo. It's a really interesting company between fintech, retail tech, but also consumer engagement and loyalty programs.
That's right.
Maybe before we go on deep dive to your company, maybe can you share with us who you are and how you start your company?
Right. Cool. Uh, I'm Dennis. So I'm born in Hong Kong. I've done a few MNC before. French, German, Japanese, um, US company. Like a local company as well, Hong Kong company. So I like to start my business because once I got a very interesting experience, and I would like to make use of what I've known and learned so far so long, and to start something that I think that thing should be fixed for long, right? So let me jump into that situation. So one day I got some incentive from a bank. So the bank asked me to go to like Tsim Sha Tsui to redeem some supermarket voucher, which is a paper voucher. um, you know what? Always the time that when I'm working, then that redemption center is open. When I'm off, the shop is closed. So I have to rush. In the daytime, I drive there and I couldn't find a car park space, and then I risk for being fined and to stay somewhere nearby. And then I rush up and found that that supermarket voucher is not the supermarket that um, under my nearby my apartment. So I can only call my mom. Hey, mom, you know what? I got some paper voucher for you. And then I say, oh yeah, that's good. How can you give it to me? I say, let's catch up. Another time. So then I just try to understand can why cannot that things can be happen more naturally and be more um, um, considering, right? So can I have a choice as a user? Can I have a choice? And then I try to dig out the root cause.
Mhm.
Why the bank did not allow me to have the choices? Because they have to to streamline the procurement process, whatever inventory control, whatever all the kinds of things. Then they just buy prepay from one kind of merchant for easy management, and that's the reason why I don't have a choice, right? So then the problem is, what if the bank did not have to pay upfront? Then maybe I can have a choice, right? I'm a user. So this is something that about myself. I want to to always to find uh, why behind something, and if there's a chance that I can get it changed, get it fixed, then I think that is something that I want to do. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Before we start about your company and the product you have developed, could you describe yourself in a couple of words?
Hmm?
Could you describe yourself in a couple of words?
Oh well, okay. I think I'm quite a cheerful person. I like to smile, I like to laugh, and I'm quite sunny. Because my friends saying that I'm kind of sunny boy. Every time when I happen there in the other country or whatever, always sunshine, no raining. So just kidding, man. A very bright person. Always see the bright side of the people. The the best part of the others. So to get friend with me is not that tough.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is something about myself. Very positive person, I would say.
Yeah, I can see that. And also, you bring the sun into this room.
Thank you.
So, could you describe a bit what is Mojodomo and what is the main product and how people can use it on a daily life? Because it come from a personal problem you faced before, right?
Right. As mentioned just now about the background, the story that I face, I would say it is very much like the consumption voucher scheme today that the government is arranging. So back to a few years ago, I was dealing with a bank, insurance company, pretty much the same stuff.
Mhm.
I helped the bank, insurance company to issue their own e-voucher under their own brand. So now they're not buying some merchant voucher, but issuing the bank's voucher, the insurance voucher, right? Their own
So,
voucher.
this is on a mobile phone, on a computer. You can print it.
Mm.
How it works?
So it's literally is a the web voucher is a web base. That web voucher can be could happen inside the bank's app,
Mhm.
insurance company apps, or like through SMS, email, chatbot, all kind of digital channels that the bank's insurance company would like to distribute, right? So it's a web voucher simply. For sure, people can print it out as for the convenience, right? So that web voucher can be redeemed at our fast-growing merchant network. So treat the merchant as a redemption center, but then you don't have to go to the redemption center for paper voucher and then go to the merchant side, right? So you just go straight to the merchant, predefine the merchant, and enjoy your incentive and benefits. And we capture all the flow and provide back to the bank insurance company with the visibility, the transparency. So you know what happened to your campaign. You better understand your clients.
So,
So that's what we
you
do.
collect the data from the campaign.
Yeah. We help the banks to learn what their clients like.
Interesting. You started 2 years or 3 years ago, right?
Officially launched in 2019 March, I would say, together with a insurance company.
Mhm.
The first time, quite a regional one. So very lucky that we work with a scheme, we work with banks, we work with acquirers, for that, and then we start with insurance company. We start with a very decent coffee shop, change shops for the first time. Then we scale up for the both end.
Interesting. Did you face any challenges at the very beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur there?
Yeah, like for most of the problem that platform players would face. So first of all, as a startup in Hong Kong, it's very difficult to find talent people because they're very expensive.
Okay.
We don't have an office until we got admitted to Cyberport incubation program. So we got a very decent office there. It's not advertisement, but but yeah, I did quite a lot of support from the team there. And then we need resources. I mean, cash for the payroll, for the R&D team, and the most important part for platform player is that we need to have marketer, which is my client, bank insurance company, that they have a lot of customers, right? On the other side, we need also the merchant. So in that ecosystem, right, someone would like to pay, someone will have a lot of customers, and on the other side, they need customer and they need transaction dollars, right? They need marketing fund. So we need to build the both at the same time. So marketer and merchant at the same time. So what merchant you have from the marketer side, and then what the merchant will ask, who are you bringing the customer from, right? So tell me where the customer come from. So I need to build the things at the same time. That's the tough part. Yeah.
Interesting. So you're in a real, very interesting market between consumer engagement, retail, fintech for the payment part. So did you learn about some myth about the industry where you are, and what did you learn from there? Do you have some insight for us?
Well, the reason why we find this is a way that we do is because we discuss with the marketer clients, right?
Mhm.
Banks, insurance company. So first of all, they have these kind of campaigns, incentive marketing campaigns for new clients, for existing customers, which is customer acquisitions and customer retention for decades. And the way that they do incentive marketing is always the same, very traditional. And they don't have a way, they have a very little method to measure the KPI, honestly speaking. The money they bought from the merchant upfront, such that they need to do internal a lot of admin things, whatever, distribution. But then by the end of the day, they can't realize whether the customer, the user, are really enjoying that. They don't have the visibility. They have no data at all. So that is something that we find there's a lot of wastage, what we call wastage, that we want to help the banks to save it for better use, right? ROI again, right? And um, and those voucher previously are mainly single brand, which means only that supermarket, for example. But why not a few supermarket at the same time, or a mixture of supermarket plus takeaway plus coffee, whatever, in one single voucher, right? Something like this. After all, it's the same marketing dollars, right? So why don't I have a choice? So this is something that we find out the market problem, and we call that loyalty disconnect because there's no data. And we have solutions to fix this with the fintech infrastructure.
Interesting. This market should not be easy. The way that you are collaborating with, for example, insurance bank or retail company seems to be challenging. So, in terms of your own company, how did you find your colleagues? What makes a great team, and what makes a successful team for you to, succeed there with all those counterparties, as bank, insurance, or retail companies?
Yeah. Well, I think this is the most important part for startups, because when I work in MNC, like so first of all, I mean, I always have a choice, to work with whom, whether I want to work with somebody, because it's a giant company. But for startups, I have to choose my partner very carefully, right? Someone that I can really trust, someone have track record, someone that is complementary to each other, right? So first of all, we have to be like mind. We have a common goal. That's something that very important. But at the same time, we can cover each of us, in a different skill set or expertise. So myself is more like a partnership, commercial person, business model person. I work on the solution, especially on the payment side. My partners I know him for a long time, Patrick. So he is so success to help giants company to build their very core backend treasury systems, IT platform, including those casino, that kind of company, listed company, yeah, insurance company. Another very important lady, which is we always need her suggestions, advice, because she come from a background like startup for American Nasdaq listed company, but starting from very beginning, like startup mode in Asia, not just Hong Kong. So yeah, funding from US, but then startup so she knows how to craft a company from startup to a um, regional operation in Asia. So we need different skill set people to cover each of us. And then now we have a relatively decent team in Hong Kong, and we are just expanding to Asian market. We have very important person joining us in Singapore.
Okay.
To staff about to onboard in June. So there's something that we have already planned for some times. But first of all, we need to find the marketing. I mean the funding, yeah, and also we need to find at the right time that we have sufficient resources to replicate the models to the rest of the world, right? So I think startup is something like this. We need good people, a little bit cash flow. I mean investors, and the endorsement from different stakeholder like bank, insurance company, merchant side, and also the government, from different support. Yeah.
How big is your company right now in terms of employee, and what is your target for maybe the next 3 months or maybe by the end of this year?
Yeah, we have Hong Kong so-called headquarters right now, and then we have Taiwan mainly for the operation and R&D.
Hmm.
We will have also a business development arms in ASEAN. So literally starting from Singapore, we would like to cover Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore for sure, right? So Southeast Asia. And today we have around 20 people, just a little bit less than 20 people. We're expecting to have double the number of staff by end of this year.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a time to growth.
yes,
Because of COVID, we kind of locked it in Hong Kong to get focus in Hong Kong, I would say. But we have sufficient case study to shares to the rest of the region. Yeah.
interesting. You spoke a bit about your partners in business. I mean, so can we know who are your customers, clients, followers? How the company supports the community you have created around the Mojodomo?
Well, in the very beginning, because I think one of the very interesting thing is that bank, because I got the experience, right? Insurance company face the same. They have tons of customers. They have a lot of new clients that they want to engage. So banking financial service is the top first client vertical that we would like to focus. And then we were expanding our coverage to the other vertical, including public sector, like NGOs, school, any kind of government department. So that's something the other area we want to touch. Also, shopping mall. We work with a few shopping mall today, so we would like to extend that area to collaborate with the mall operators. um, I think we have top tier of banks in Hong Kong and the very top few insurance company in APAC region already, starting from Hong Kong. So the mission right now is to go deeper, what we call replicate the model within that company, within that corporate. But at the same time, we would like to expand to the other region, like insurance company. They have easily like 8 to 12 territory coverage in Southeast Asia, right? So we can just replicate the model there. So that's the very important part that we're doing. I think we have around like I can count like almost 20 key accounts, I would say, and they have each of them have a million of customers that we are serving. So
Interesting.
yeah.
With this large base of customers and like this large base of business partners, do you see any macroeconomic trends happening maybe in Hong Kong or in Asia as well?
I think because of the COVID, right? People get used um, to do online orders. They try to order takeaway, somehow. And even though people are now allowed to go dinner outside,
Mhm.
I don't see that pack, in the restaurant or places, because maybe people get used to that already. Somehow they buy some stuff and they enjoy dinner at home. Could be. So I think more and more transaction go like omni-channel, offline for sure for the experience, but then many orders goes online. So that's something that we want to tap um, and to look into that. But as always, I think it's not just one side. When people get bored, to order stuff online, they rush back to the physical shops and chill with the friends, right? And having dinner in the restaurant is not just because of the food, but like social, networking. We need to meet people, So I think this is something that changing in the market and the way people spend. Like these days, there's a new terms called buy now, pay later, right? It's
Yes.
a very popular name.
Yes.
As my understanding, it's called installment before. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, but a little bit difference. I think this is a way that changed the people behavior or spending behavior somehow,
Okay.
because they will get used to pay later in coming 2 months or 3 months time. Um, so that's to stimulate the spending. Yeah.
And this is a growing payment method you can see right now on the market. Do you think it's a leading method or
I think it's like a trend
okay?
when it become like a new norm, new normal. When people buy some stuff which is like I don't know, like a thousand, hundreds, could be hundreds, then they I don't mind to chop into three, payments.
Yeah.
Why not? If there's no interest for the end user, right? But then the merchant can enjoy because people now they have smaller barrier to buy stuff, right? When I was much younger, there's the installment is talking about like 3 years, like 36 months. That's very common, a year to 3 years. So I think, but now it is because the economic downturns,
Mhm.
whatever, because COVID, all these things come together, and now merchants are desperate to have more people spending. They don't mind, they have. I'm sure they have some costs on the buy now pay later somehow. But they're willing to do that. Yeah.
And except buy now, pay later, do you see like maybe loyalty programs or e-wallet being part of the competition you are facing right now? Or
Yeah, this is something that my territory I would say. So yeah, you can see that there's a loyalty program everywhere now. Shopping mall, bus, transportation, like subway, anything that there's a lot of customers, like supermarket, the group, like group wise loyalty program. Shopping mall is a very famous, popular one these days because um, because there's no cross-border customers, right?
Mhm.
People try to maximize, the understanding with the current customer base in Hong Kong, like 7 million people. So make sure these 7 million people belongs to so many groups that you own as possible. So what I say is that from card payments to wallet payments, these are something that I cannot touch. Wow, where I'm not able to touch yet. Maybe someday. But then for loyalty point payments and also voucher payment is something that which is I'm very focusing on, and this is I think is a rising. Um, just go back to the water payments. I think there's many like um, card payments, credit card, debit card, you know, like like uh, uh like even like Octopus, if I don't mind to share that, they have a virtual format, right? Such that you can keep that into your Apple Wallet, Google Wallet,
Correct.
Samsung Wallet, and any kind of wallet, right? So I think this is something that like a trend. People would like to go cardless, from cashless to cardless. I think that's the trend, the way people spend, and additional to the loyalty point payment and also the voucher payment.
So this show names is What the FinTech. So I would like to come back a bit more into the banking industry,
Mm.
and I would like to see what are the challenges you are facing with big banks when it
Right.
comes to partnerships and collaboration with them.
All right. Oh, I think the banks and the very famous corporates, they have new terms saying that they are kind of um, entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
something like the corporate they would like to have encouraging their staff to build something new, right? So they're trying to find talents within the corporate to create some stuff, right? So that's the trend. I see there's a lot of banks like Singapore banks, like Hong Kong banks, some local banks that they're doing quite good, honestly speaking. Um, but there's a lot of company like bank insurance company that they're looking for solution partner, especially those startups, because they know they have a perfectly matched resources. Like, for the startup, they need the bank support. Obviously, I can't create something like credit, uh, 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 like credit stuff, right? I
Mhm.
cannot create by myself, right? I need to back by a bank, right? Credit facility, I would say, and the bank they would like to have proven solutions, go to market right away. They don't want to spend 1.5 years to build something, but eventually, because they're not IT company, they're a bank, right? So I think that's a perfect match, for bank insurance company to partner well with startups. Yeah, I think that is something that the trend.
So how do you create an ecosystem or an innovation strategy with those banks, for example?
Well, first of all, when you talk about ecosystem, I think we need to understand everybody's interests, what the bank is having, and what a startup like myself is doing, and whether there's a chance that I can leverage some of the resources from the bank, right? Just like I apply the government funding and government support. Why you, right? They always ask why me? Why you come to us? There must be something you want from us, right? When I go to a bank, we try to work together. I'm trying to solve your problem. That's something, but at the same time, I'm going to make good use of your products, you know, to strengthen what we have, what we want to do. So I see the best part of the others. I see the value of the bank. I see if we can find, if we can collaborate with each of the strength
Mhm.
together, then there's something like co-creation, collaboration, co-creation, right? I think that's a crucial part for teaming up for the two
So,
companies.
so you speak about how we rethink the product, but how do we improve the customer experience? Because fintech are here to improve the customer experience, stop some steps, just go straight forward to the product.
Yeah.
So how can you help them?
Well, I think having the the facility, I would say, like having the fintech infrastructure is just the underneath, the backbone. I would say the user experience is something that how we make use of that infrastructure to build a more seamless um, um, user experience. Like for example, I we enable the bank insurance company to issue their own voucher, their own brand's voucher. Then the user can simply knowing that voucher is coming from a bank, my favorite bank. Then I can choose the desired merchant that is predefined by the bank.
So for example, if I want a coffee, I will have a choice between different coffee shops or coffee
Yes,
brands.
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks to that bank, they really give me a choice, right? Then I can go and to enjoy the funding, marketing dollars at my desired brands, the shops that near by myself. Then I can just redeem it seamlessly. So it's all backed by the infrastructure behind,
Mhm.
and the user don't really have to know that. But they when they found that it's so convenient, easy to use, knowing who give the voucher to them, who give the incentive to them, and where they can spend it, with all the very clear informations, having the choices, all this kind of stuff. And after they redeem it, they can have a they can refresh and see again. Oh, I have redeemed it today, 5 o'clock. At which of the brand and which shops. Knowing all this kind of information, they don't get confused. Did I redeem that last week? Did I? Something like this. So this is something that we help because with the infrastructure behind, now we can help have a better user experience with a end user.
And about that end user, do you think right now there is an issue for them to use some of the new product except yours? For example, because they don't have enough savviness about it, or they're not enough familiar with this product? How do you solve this issue there?
Mm, do you mean that if the end user is not too familiar with the products?
Yeah.
So first of all, I always talk to the market clients.
Okay.
I always talk to the bank insurance company. What actually you need, to help your clients understand what's happening. This is something new in the market. Well, we're quite innovative in a way that I'm sure some of the user may not be too familiar with. So we have a very clear user guide, screen capture, step by step, showing if you want to go to redeem this merchant at this merchant, then you throw this flow. That's it. So there's something that we can help them to get used. And from the figures, I think 99 point something percent is really enjoying the redemption. Maybe one or two cases that they have some questions, and some new staff joining the merchant side may not too familiar with what's happening there. But we are also improving from the merchant perspective. So help the merchant to recognize us as a kind of solution provider. Yeah.
Interesting. So when you say that, are you doing some trainings? Are you communicating with them?
Yeah.
Are you sharing some, I don't know, infographic, newsletter, or like some?
Yeah, yeah. So in the very beginning, we are relatively low profile, and of course, because of limited resources, now we put our brand more, in the public. I would say, um, just recently we got some interview, video shooting, whatever, and we got our branding in very decent chain merchant that cover hundreds of stores. So I think like over 500 of stores in Hong Kong. Then we will go to revisit the other existing merchant and saying that, hey, please do the same, such that our clients, I mean, the customer of my clients, the bank insurance company clients, can really understand where they can enjoy the benefits. So we will have more visibility.
Very nice. Just before this recording, we spoke a bit about Hong Kong being a cash society. Do you think that cash will be still prevalent for a long time in Hong Kong, or do you think a kind of twist of the end consumers
Uh,
going to maybe cashless, cardless, as you just said before?
Yeah, I think cashless is a way that everyone wants to do that. Um, Cardless for sure. I think when you have cards, you want to get rid of the plastic card and you want to get it on your mobile phone
Mhm.
in a virtual way. So cardless is a trend for sure, but cashless is something that I think people trying to do that, but I don't know why it's still happening here. Like if you go to wet market, right? You want to buy a fish, whatever. You try not to get change because that that coins is full of something that you don't want to touch. But still, there's a lot of people that they still get used with the coins, the cash, the banknotes. I think it still needs some time, maybe 5 to 10 years. I hope to really get cashless. I think there's some other places are doing quite well and have the plan to go fully digital for whatever reason. Track and trace, they want to have, there's no fake money, it's a lot of reason, right? Um, yeah, but somehow people still get used to, I don't say resistance, but they just don't want. I
Mhm.
want to keep my coins. I feel more safe. I think it's more psychological and like a behavioral, habit kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of common for me. Last time I took the highway with my motorbike and I could not pay with any digital payments, even
Yes.
any cards.
My God.
And I had just to pay $3 for this. And I just had just a note of 500. So it was not possible for me to pay.
My God.
They refused my note there. So I created a long queue on my back. And the taxi behind me, after like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, just give me like $3 just to pay and just go because he refused to use my.
I know which tunnel. I got the same situation before. And lucky that I got, and some of my friends sitting in the. Do you have some $3? Do you have the coins? Do you have the coins? It's
Yeah,
annoying, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
I have a quick question about
Mhm.
your product. So you have developed that really nice infrastructure. You can collaborate with a lot of
Mhm.
banks and insurance.
Mhm.
So what's next for you? You spoke about the company before, expansion in Asia, but in terms of product development, or in terms of new features you want to develop, do you have a roadmap in mind?
Yeah.
Can you share
Yeah.
it a bit with us?
So today we are focusing on the large enterprises, like the top tier, I would say. Then we would like to standardize the products we have for I would say SMB, but still B2B, right? B2B to C, B2B to their clients, not to individual yet.
Mhm.
So that's our um, timeline, I would say. On the product side, because again, the fintech infrastructure is really infrastructure. So we're not aiming to do purely the voucher payments, the e-voucher stuff. It's the form factor, I would say. We're really doing the marketing things, customer engagement. We want to we want to let the stakeholders, which is the bank, insurance company, what we call marketing clients, could be school, could be NGO, whatever, and their clients and merchant partners, that three stakeholder to have the whole visibility. They understand what happened so long, where the customer enjoying, whatever. All this data go back to every stakeholder. So this is something that we want to get focused. I will try to tap into the marketing or even advertising area. That is something that we want to do. So in the slogan, we have a slogan saying that conversion of fintech and martech. It is something that we really want to do is not purely payment stuff, but making good use of the payment with the last mile data. We want to make use of that to do marketing, advertising. So that's the real stuff we want to do.
This is really interesting. In terms of product, we don't see that often here in Hong Kong. We have a lot of cash rebate offer, sometimes rewards redemption from the banks. But what you're proposing here is a different value proposition. So do you think the market is ready to have that different value proposition here?
Well, that's the best part of being a startups, because there's no boundary. There's no one to stop us to do anything innovative, I would say. Um, that's also explain why people easily get confused. Oh, you're doing e-voucher. It must be something that things like coupon, whatever, loyalty program. Yes, this is something that we have, but the ultimate goal is not the stuff that people might easily understand. That I don't mind, because until we have finished, you know what, I told some of my friends heard about what I'm doing for long times, and until recently, he or she really understand what I'm trying to do because I've already done it. Because with my team, we have deliver the things, and then now I understand what you're trying to do. So it takes times to let the others to understand. It's okay.
And right now, one of the big topic on the market is ESG, right?
Yes.
So your solution is online, paperless.
Yes.
Could you share a bit more about the
Yeah.
impact of your company on the strategy of the ESG for the
Oh,
bank?
thanks for bringing this up, because this is one of very important move for ourselves, because I think I want to do that. I mean, this company is not just making just profits, or the benefits of helping the bank insurance company to 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 better engage their clients, but at the same time, the whole infrastructure can benefit to some other stakeholder. Like we have already have campaigns working with NGO during the COVID, right? People need to donate. They go to talk to the people, but then they don't want to have a physical touch. Oh, that's too dangerous, right? And we help them to issue their own e-voucher, let them to buy the disinfectants, the goods that they need, like food or whatever, anything that they need, right? Without sending out people to interact with people like this, but just to show the cares, some kind of supporting. So this kind of stuff can happen for the other vertical, like the school, university, whatever. For rewards, for donation. So school, I mean, from donor to school to the students and family. Then they can redeem at a predefined environments. You don't want the kids to spend um, the donors' money for drinking. Well, I don't mind. Not for that. Only at the decent places, at the right places, right? So this kind of visibility, right? The transparency is something that is very important. Make sure the donor is donating the money and spend at the right way.
Mhm.
So this is something like ESG already. So E for environmental friendly. We are all digital. We want to make some social impact, helping the people, to solve the problems, and like to give back to the society. And governance, I will say, just want to try to make it up, like, how decent we make good use of the mature banking payment infrastructure with all the auto auditing, things happen in real time. So ESG for governance, right, is there by default. So I hope we can touch this area. It seems like this is something that more than making profits alone, but really meaningful to the society. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with you here. One of the things I want to ask you is, did you see any a growth recently in terms of usage of your apps or your e-venture, especially with what you just shared with the recent COVID phase that we got in Hong Kong, for example? Did you see like people sending easily that e-venture to others during that wave number 5?
Well, I think people get used to digital solution, I would say, because of COVID, and because of, like, the government is trying to push somehow the consumption voucher scheme stuff. Yeah. So now people in Hong Kong, I would say in Hong Kong, because we're expanding in the other places, but let's focus on Hong Kong. People in Hong Kong now, they realize that there's, now, apart from traditional method, we have digital solutions, and seems like we don't have much choices. Now, why not try to try it? And the adoption is not bad, honestly speaking, because now, why don't I just spend a little bit of time to look into the details, and seems it's not that tough, not that difficult. So I think I got some data, right, um for the government, the consumption voucher scheme. The adoption is talking about like 90 something percent, like 98% or something like this. It's quite a lot of people enjoying the benefits somehow. After all, this is kind of cash, right? Why not, right? And then the other guys is talking about like loyalty program, how many loyalty points they want to convert into a voucher, and then they enjoy somewhere. That thing is talking about like 80 something percent of the consumption. And I see there's a lot of more and more marketers is trying to do that, including a very famous group wise program, loyalty program, and people get used to that airline one. And they have more choices right now, because yeah, they want to get more adoptions, and for the incentive marketing, like marketing campaign, attracting new customers, whatever. It's literally about half of the people will enjoy that. So and now I can tell to the bank insurance company or to the marketers that how many budget you are really giving out to the customer, and they're using it, not just wasting it. So almost half. So I have the figures, to share with the stakeholders. It's amazing.
This is the most important part of your job, I think.
My clients are really happy with two things. First of all, we help them to really measure the performance, save costs, or using the same cost to do more at the same time, like 2 times, 3 times of the client base to serve better their clients. Second thing is the data. They really enjoy having the data, even though they never get the chance to obtain any data before. And now in our model, we are performance based, right? So we charge them literally with the performance. So we both benefit. You got the data, we charge you with the data that we provide you, right? So fair, right? And last, the thing is that I got very compliments from my bank. Very important. Sorry, it's an insurance company. Is that you guys are the best vendor I ever had for the quality that you deliver. Then I say, big 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 thanks to my tech and operation team, because this is very sweet to hear that compliment from a bank and insurance company, saying that we are just a tiny company today, but seems like we're doing quite good. Yeah.
Data driven and scalability. It's the dream of every companies right now, right? All the big banks and the big corporate try to transform to this.
Yeah, I hope, there's a way that we can do even better. But it's always good to hear that, people are, happy with the service we provide, the quality that we deliver. We're doing some meaningful stuff. A few of the bank insurance company telling me that, and then you're doing really good stuff because you're solving all my problem. I say, really? Yes, you're solving all my problems. Now I fix all the problem in one place, and we only charge them on performance.
This is good.
So should I change my pricing strategy to a more favor to myself? I don't know, but yeah, I think this is good. This is really good. Yeah. Happy to hear that. Yeah.
There is anything, any advice you would like to share with the people watching all the video or listening to the podcast?
Yeah, yeah. One thing I learned, from a very interesting story I just heard from Elon Musk. He's a very popular person. There's a story saying that he liked to, to tax on a instant messaging platform, and then some friends of him saying that, hey, why don't you just buy it? And then he asked how much. It seems like he's serious, right? And then after a few years later, he announced that he wanted to buy that company. And eventually, maybe not, but he got the idea. He think about this. He take actions to add on it, and whether he really do it or not depends on the timing. It's so many factors. But what I want to share is that I got the idea that I want to fix some stuff, and then I know I got so many problems to fix, including find the right resources, the right team that I can trust, I can rely on, and then I got to the support from the clients, the merchant partners, all this, and then but the key is I really need to take the actions to do that. There's so many people got so many ideas, fantastic ideas, dreams, and execution. So I think this is something that I would encourage. If you guys have any dreams you want to make, and you have some ideas, good solutions, um, think about this and make it solid, get it done. Get it start at least.
You have to stop somewhere.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah. What ways otherwise, right? Good ideas, but not trying to start. It fails. It doesn't matter. Next time people can do it better. But I think that's to get it started is very important, and determination is also the other stuff.
Yeah, some of the influencers I'm following, they say like 99% of the project die even
Yes.
before trying. So, you have it in your head, or you try maybe for one day on your,
Yeah.
let's say, garage for the Silicon Valley myth. And but they stop here. They
Yeah.
don't try to do it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, even more.
Once I met with a potential investor, they say, "Oh, that stuff, the things that you're trying to do, should has been done, should has been fixed years ago, right?"
Mhm.
Unfortunately, not. Everybody think it shouldn't be like this, but the real world is no one fix it. So I I think there's a lot of rooms that people can also think about, just very little things. There's one step ahead. Maybe people can have a solutions to get it done, to get it fixed.
So is anything you would like to share with us more than all those questions you answer?
Well, I think if you don't mind, you can like my LinkedIn.
Yes.
I haven't touched my Facebook for 2 years already. Of
So
two to
how
5
people
years.
can follow you or get in touch with you? Because maybe some of the people would be interested to reach out to you after this.
Yeah. Please follow my LinkedIn account, my company LinkedIn account. We put all the activities like the upcoming campaigns for the festive campaign, like the Mid Autumn Festival, Christmas, whatever. There's always some activities, and we have something interesting to announce on the LinkedIn website. Please help me to share the link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will do it. No worries.
Yeah, you can get in touch with me. I would like to get to know you. Yeah, if you if you have any questions to ask me, I'll try to answer you. Yeah.
Perfect. I think this is the end of our interview. So thank you very much, Dennis, for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much.
Guys, was Dennis, the CEO of Mojodomo. You can find him on LinkedIn. I will share all the links just on the description of this video or this podcast. Thank you very much for listening this podcast or watching this video. You can find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all those platforms, but also on the social platforms for podcasts such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast. I have also a newsletter that I publish every Sunday morning about the news in Asia about fintechs. So feel free to reach out to LinkedIn or the Substack. The name is What the FinTech. And I will see you next week for a new guest, a new interview. And take care. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.